Glass shattered and anarchists sprang out of the crowd and launched this full-on assault. American Apparel, Nike Town, and a few banks all got hit.
We just locked all the doors. I noticed that the glass was all buckling out front here.
No one was hurt, but plenty thought they would be.
I saw them coming down, so I was afraid for my life.
Police on bikes coasted in. The anarchists ran. There were reports that they changed clothes to blend back in with the protesters.
Whole street! Our street! Whole street! Our street!
The marching continued all through the afternoon, through downtown, disrupting traffic, but it was calmer until just after 4:30 near the Pike Place Market, when police took some of the Occupy flags.
All they had to do was ask. They did not ask. I'm homeless and I understand the word please.
Then it got even more tense.
Let him go! Let him go! Why?
Crowds were pushing and swaying. More violence threatened to erupt.
Neither the protesters nor the police are treating each other like human beings. It is so disgusting. It's so sad.
The buildup starts with a beat. A steady drum paces the dozens of devoted protesters remaining in the rotunda.
I've been here the better part of 2 weeks.
I'm going to be here as long as it takes.
Inside the assembly, setup is slow and steady as members of the media gather for the governor. 2 floors below, police eye the serene scene.
People are mad and they're not going to take it.
A little after 4 o'clock, a call to create chaos.
Ready, go!
The protesters march as close as they can to the man who at the moment is getting a far warmer welcome upstairs. Each side hits their stride.
A great deal of attention has been focused on Wisconsin. Freedom thrives each time there is a passionate debate in our society.
The budget address peaks with applause, while the protest sounds through the State House. Floor by floor, the frustration flows through the doors denying their demonstration.
I'm very, very upset about it.
Eventually, the sound seeps into the assembly, competing with faint camera clicks. The protesters penetrate Walker's budget announcement.
He's just gutting our state from the inside, from the bottom up, by gutting education. Without that, we don't have anything.
This year's MATC graduation seems like any other, complete with the same old sights, sounds, and speeches we've come to expect. That is, until something unexpected happens. With Wisconsin Governor Jim Doyle on the stage, in the midst of all the pomp and circumstance, the poles and curtains collapse.
I was just like, oh my God!
And all of a sudden, boom, everything fell down.
Faculty rush in and hold up the broken backdrop. The crowd's abuzz as backstage EMTs rush to help a bleeding woman. She's hit in the head, but conscious. Medical workers say she'll need stitches.
And then it was funny because we thought everybody was okay, but now you tell me there's a woman in the back.
Eventually, the crowd calms. The ceremony continues with Governor Doyle.
Believe me, I give a number of commencement addresses, and this is one that I will remember.
As will others in the arena.
The way everything happened so fast, you know, you wouldn't expect it.
The storm hit just after noon, and less than an hour later, the cleanup had begun. The people of Lawrence County wasting no time to seek out neighbors in need.
We was detoured that way, so we come up this way to see if we could help out.
Then boom, the tree hit my house.
Jewel Ellis, whose home along Highway 43 North, caught everyone's attention. It seems work began immediately on the elderly woman's home.
The fire department, rescue squad, my kinfolks and in-laws. And
Right before the winds hit, Ellis says she got a call from a family member warning her to stay indoors.
I said, oh, it's not that bad here.
It was bad. The Lawrence County Emergency Management estimates more than 50 homes and structures were destroyed or damaged. The good news, they say, and miracle considering the damage, is no one was seriously injured. Power in some areas is still out, but the work to get electricity, just as the work to clean up, is moving fast.
Trudging through the snow, braving the icy winds, winter conditions posing difficulty for some. The building's snow piles proved to be a barrier for others.
Just piled up too high right there.
But the challenges and concerns are different for Troy Hergert.
I have retinitis pigmentosa, or RP for short.
He's living with a degenerative eye disease allowing him little to no sight.
I'm legally blind, have been for 30 years.
His cane serves as his sense of vision, but in these conditions, that sense is dulled.
I'm having to dig in and find, okay, I'm still on cement. Over here, okay, I find some grass, so I'm going to try to follow that.
Waving his cane back and forth, Hergert distinguishes paved sidewalks from unpaved areas, but where the walk is washed out by inches of snow.
And aha, okay, found something. Sign, garbage can, parking block. Okay, now I know I'm on the path, but again, this is a treacherous spot because I cannot use any of my proper techniques. For 24 hours, we expect when snow falls, it's going to be an issue. It's no one's fault. But within 24 hours, residents and businesses are supposed to clear their sidewalks.
Sometimes passage is also prevented by plows.
Now I have to get up this curb, and I don't feel any way to do that. It doesn't seem like, it seems like the plow has made a little bit of a mess, or left a little bit, so I'm looking for a way to get up. And finally, I might just give up and I'm just gonna climb in.
For people with visual and other physical impairments, the weather can pose risks.
The snow is still falling, so I'm taking a chance.
But sometimes in the snow, simple victories are uncovered.
Aha, I find a shoveled spot, finally.
Patches of plowed pavement, some take for granted.
Just please shovel.
Jeremy Ross, Fox 6 News.
I got another tattoo on my chest, which is my wife's name.
It's just, fun, spunky kind of thing that I decided to do.
Below this in Runic is RAHOA, which stands for Racial Holy War.
Some stories are sealed in skin.
Every tattoo I ever get, it got some type of meaning behind it.
This is permanent. It's never gonna leave me.
This is the kind of the demon of my past.
The plot, painted on with pain.
Dolor is Latin and Spanish for pain.
The moral, deeper than any words.
The voice is just, it's always been there. And the tattoos, yeah, they've been growing on me since I was 14.
But to see the burden Arno Michaels bears, look below the surface.
So, yeah.
This is the character he carves out for himself in the mid-'80s and early '90s.
Well, I got up there and I screamed real loud, and I got people crazy.
Michaels is the lead singer of the hate metal band Centurion at the time. They play in mostly dark bars and basements, any place that permits their drunken, racist ranting.
It was a 7-year keg party with racism and violence.
Back then, he's one of the heads of the Milwaukee White Power movement, a founder of the racist skinhead group, the Northern Hammerskins.
It was revealed to me that white people are my people.
Michael's past is littered with lost lives ruined by racism.
One of them had a .25 pistol.
In 1990, an 18-year-old he'll only identify as Chuck is drawn to the deadly skinhead lifestyle. Soon after, the young recruit picks a fight with a Latino gang, and he's buried because of his bigotry.
He took one shot, and it hit Chuck in the back, and it went right through his heart, and he died on the spot.
The death only enrages the racist crew.
We played it off like, you know, what's this world coming to when a white man can't even walk down the street without being murdered by these savages?
And so it goes for years. The music plays, the booze flows, and hate rules Michael's life.
"20 years later, yeah."
These days, it's hard to envision that violent man in the Centurion video.
How old do you think I am?
He's like 28.
I'll take it.
Now at age 40, you'll find Michael's in a very different place. Here he's laughing in the quiet corner of a Milwaukee inner-city library with mostly minority students.
We literally had blinders up to deny all this information from the world around us that indicated that other people were as human as we were.
The now reformed racist shares his dead friend's story as a lesson worth learning.
It's really poignant, tragic evidence that hate and violence begets hate and violence.
I thought, oh man, this is going to be scary. This is my meeting with the scary skinhead.
In the school full of like 75% black African Americans.
But he came right through the door and his human warmth, you know, preceded him.
Michael's journey from hardened hammer skin to self-proclaimed peace activist actually begins with more racism.
We felt it was our duty to have white children.
And it's the birth of his innocent little girl that finally makes Michaels feel guilty about everything.
I was like, what the hell did I start here? What am I doing?
So in the mid-90s, he begins leaving the movement he helped mastermind.
As the violence and hatred lost that constant reinforcement, it began to make less sense.
And it's not long before Michaels is left reflecting on the ramifications of the life he lived.
I think about my daughter and how much I love her. And I think of how I would feel if somebody ever hurt her. And then I ask myself, how did that kid's parents feel after you got done with them?
By 2004, the former skinhead finds himself sober, sorry, and with a plan to reconcile his past and save his very soul.
The impetus to begin writing this book was really my own sanity.
My Life After Hate by Arno Michaels is published last December.
It's really a message for everybody, regardless of their age, that decisions you make and the actions you take have consequences.
But writing the book isn't enough. Composing in coffee shops across the North Shore, every keystroke spreads his message through a blog and online magazine, lifeafterhate.org.
When I was your age, I was already cutting out of school.
Pacing back and forth in front of a larger crowd of Kenosha students, Michael shares his shadowy past.
Kindness, not weakness, is about setting an example.
And kindness, not weakness is more than just a catchy phrase for Michaels. It's an anti-bullying program he's launching with former gang member Sammy Rangel, who used to be a Latin disciple.
Two different mindsets altogether, but still so similar on this other side. There were things that just drew us together.
I was really touched by your story, man.
Thanks a lot, man. That's great to hear.
It's like a symbolization of my grandparents.
And that's kind of what I got in my back.
These knuckles had NHS for Northern Hammer Skinheads and a big swastika here.
Today, Michael's tattoos tell the tale of how he turned his life around.
Having them removed hurt way worse than getting them.
He says he's proof every picture, no matter how permanent,
It was a pretty horrible theme for a tattoo.
can be redrawn.
My response is, if you don't believe me, just watch what I do.
So Michaels will just keep using the ugly images of his past.
It's somewhat symbolic of the devil and angel on either shoulder.
to ink what he hopes is a life-saving story.
It's the only reason I can do what I'm doing.